Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Hope you guys are all doing okay. Just quickly, if someone could actually just say if they can actually see me right now, because I'm having quite a few technical difficulties. So if you can actually see me on screen, just let me know in the chat. But yeah, I can't see myself. Both of you guys can. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, we're back today with another episode of the Foxes 30, episode number 3. Today we'll be talking about Wesley Fofana, as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail. Then we'll be looking ahead to the new season, which obviously now starts on Sunday with the first game of the league tomorrow. But yeah, I assume you guys can actually see me. I can't see myself when I'm doing it, so it's a bit strange. But yeah, hopefully it is all working okay. We'll wait for some more of you guys to come in here. Just before we get started, drop a like on the stream, subscribe as well to the channel if you guys haven't already. Most importantly, get involved in the chat. And yeah, kicking things off then, we will be starting off by talking about Wesley Fofana, which is obviously an interesting one. We'll get into goalkeepers in a minute. Scott, I can see a comment up there about obviously the goalkeeper situation. Obviously, it was confirmed last night that Schmeichel has officially left Leicester for Nice, which is, we all saw it coming, but obviously it's officially confirmed. Schmeichel will not be a Leicester player on Sunday, which is going to be a strange one. But yeah, we'll get onto that a bit later on. But yeah, start things off there, boys, with Fofana. I assume the stream's all okay because, yeah, like I said, I can't actually see myself, so it's a bit weird. But yeah, Fofana then. The news today broke from Fabrizio Romano that Leicester have rejected a £60 million bid for Fofana by Chelsea, which I'm pretty happy with. Obviously, Chelsea, they didn't want to sign Fofana. They're heavily interested in him. So it's just a case of seeing how much Chelsea are willing to go up price-wise. And, if Leicester want to settle for it, or if Leicester are determined to keep hold of Fofana this year, which I think that may be the case. But yeah, it just depends on how much money are Chelsea willing to pay for Fofana. And yeah, that is a potential. Obviously, I think it was 2 days ago. I was going to do a video on him. I already recorded the video about Madison and stuff. So yeah, it was obviously, I think it was, a couple of days ago where Fofana obviously did that social media rubbish, posting stuff, liking stuff, which I think it's a bit weird. Obviously, he's young. He might just be wanting to mess things up a little bit, have a joke around, but it's not really the best of things you want to do. And I think, if Rodgers is probably seeing that, he's probably not too happy with him for that. So yeah, there's a possibility he could snake us. I think the way he's going, that's a high possibility. But if Fofana does leave, I just hope he leaves in a respectful, nice way, because I really think Leicester giving Fofana a platform to really progress. I think in a few years, I think Fofana, it doesn't matter if he goes, because Fofana, let's be honest, he is probably a bit too good for us, especially if we're not pushing for Europe. So yeah, I think a few years he could go, but right now, I think it would be nice to have a full season where Fofana's fully fit. Hello, Rennie. Welcome to the stream. Hope you are doing all right. We're currently talking about Wesley Fofana. So get your thoughts in the chat, boys. How much do you guys think Fofana's actually worth, realistically? Obviously, that's a difficult question, because I think there's two type of things. Is how much Chelsea think he's worth, but how much is Fofana worth to Leicester, which I think is high, because if we lose Fofana this year, I think we may be struggling just a little bit, especially with Johnny Evans next to him, who's obviously very injury prone as well. So yeah, that could be an interesting one. 100 mil, yeah, I think that's about right, really. I think obviously people on the outside who are not Leicester fans would probably say 100 million. What are you smoking? But I think genuinely for us, if we lose Fofana, it's going to be a huge loss for us. So I think 100 million is probably if Chelsea come in with that offer, which I don't think they will, but that'll probably do it. But yeah, obviously, 60 million bid has came in. And from reports, Leicester want about 80 million for Fofana. Apparently, they're 20 million apart in valuation. So, yeah, that's an interesting one. Sorry if I keep tapping the screen because my phone keeps going off. It's a nightmare situation. I can't lie, boys. But yeah, again, it's another weird one, isn't it? Like a few days before the season, like why couldn't Schmeichel leave when the window opened in early July? Why is it now? It's weird, isn't it? It is weird. Let him go if he wants to. If he wants, I can't be asked. Yeah, exactly. I think that's the main point. You don't want a player who's going to be here who sulks around. Obviously, Morris did do that at times, but he still put performances in. So I think if he can still put performance in, it'll be all right. But obviously, it's not the best thing to do. I am currently wearing the away kit from 2019-20. I don't know how it still fits me, but it does. It's quite tight. Yeah, the pink one, I think it is it's a nice one, isn't it? So I thought I'll stick that on tonight for them. So I never usually wear Leicester tops. But yeah, for Fofana wise, I think this one's going to be an interesting one yet again. I think James Maddison to Newcastle, touched on that, is over. I don't think Newcastle are going to put another bid in. Obviously, Leicester did reject a bid a few days ago, and Newcastle haven't really gone forward with another bid. So I think that one is pretty much done, which I thought was done anyway. I think it's just a load of rubbish, really. But Chelsea offering 70 million for Fofana, and we are rejecting it. That is completely right. I've got a little list of what's been said today down here. So yeah, there we go. Chelsea will be preparing another offer from Sportsa, so we will see. Says, well, we can look at some Leicester tactics and predict the line at how Leicester do in terms of set pieces, defence at the moment because it's ruined. Yeah, we'll get onto that a bit later on in the stream. There will also be a separate video tomorrow on the channel where I go in depth on tactics. We'll be looking at how Leicester could line up next season with the formations, who could play in those formations. But yeah, we'll touch on that a bit later, Connor, probably about 10 or so minutes. But yeah, set piece wise, it's going to be another interesting one, and we haven't really done anything to improve. We were meant to have a set piece coach coming in this summer, but we have had some visa problems with that, which pretty much sums Leicester up, I think. So, yeah, looking at I agree, Connor. I think it's definitely an area which Leicester need to improve, but maybe with a new goalkeeper that could potentially do that, or could be the first step of that. Yeah, I think 100 million, you can't really say no to that, especially obviously Leicester financially. I honestly don't really know what it is right now. People are saying different things, but I think it's safe to say Leicester aren't doing the best right now with funds. So I think 100 million would definitely help us. And one thing which will help us is the clappers. They've gone. Absolute scenes, boys. Clappers are gone next season. I never thought I'd see the day, but yeah, apparently since Leicester have had clappers, we spent over 1 million on them. I mean, it's a bit. It's a bit weird. Wes and Madison will not only mess up for both Jones. Yeah, exactly. I was saying that to other stream I was on last night. Especially if let's say the World Cup's coming up in a few months, the squad's going to get picked in November. If people move teams who are going to make the push for the World Cup, and Fofana and Madison are exactly that, them two are going to want to start the season as well as possible and really push to get into that World Cup squad. If they make a move to a team, can't see it happening. So talk Leicester City. I know Newcastle have money and buildings on something, but I feel like Leicester's have win. Yeah, exactly. I think Newcastle, even though Newcastle have quite a lot of money, I do respect them for being quite. Can't think of the word, but they're being quite clever about the way they do things and not just going in splashing cash here and there, which some people thought they would. Some people saying, "Oh, they're going to sign Mbappe and all this rubbish." But yeah, I think Newcastle are doing it rightly, and I think if Newcastle are going to come into your player, the team's going to put the prices up anyway because they know in the back of their mind Newcastle have got billions sat in their bank. So obviously they've got to be careful about financial fair play, and I think that's the situation at the moment. Ben Foster will be. Yeah, I did a little bit on that in the video yesterday, but yeah, I think Ben Foster, obviously not to start, but I think for someone in there he's experienced, he can help the goalkeepers, especially Iverson, and obviously he can vlog as well, which is obviously good. But I think Ben Foster for a third choice keeper wouldn't be the worst of things, but if you're looking at the window as a whole, the only player we sign is Ben Foster. It's a bit underwhelming, I think. But yeah, let me read that from there. Personally, I feel like we need Fofana. He's too important for us this season. I can't see us getting. Actually, it's gone. Geez, comments are flying in. Love it, boys. I can't see us getting someone like him. We hold all the power, especially. Yeah, the 5-year contract thing did confuse me a bit. Yeah, he signs a 5-year contract in about March, but now he wants to go. Like, if he didn't sign that contract, he'd have a much more easy chance to go. And obviously, contracts don't mean everything. A player can still go. People can still put a bid in for him as we've seen now. But yeah, it's strange, isn't it? It is strange. PSG and Real Madrid need central defenders like Fofana. If you want to go there next year, yeah, that's what I mean. I think Fofana, if he keeps progressing as he is, he's only 21, I think. If he keeps progressing, he's going to be one of the best defenders in the world. And no disrespect to Leicester, he's not really going to become the best defender in the world at Leicester, is he? So I think in a few years, don't get me wrong, if Fofana moves on, I'll be happy. I will be happy, but I'll be okay with it. I wouldn't be salty or anything about it because I think, Leicester is a good club. I don't want to call it. I know I'm putting Leicester down right now, which I don't want to do. This is a big L from me. But really, if you think about it realistically, Fofana's not going to become the world's best centre back at Leicester, is he? Let's be honest, guys. Why aren't we signing players? We're the only team. Yeah, I don't even know, to be honest. It's just one thing I recommend you listen to. Go on to BBC Radio Leicester Sounds. They did an interview with Brendan Rodgers a few days ago, 50 minutes long. Go and watch that. And he's pretty open about the transfer situation. I think Leicester just don't really have the funds and the way it's structured right now to bring anyone in. So I think, and if Leicester were to bring someone in, it could lead us to some financial trouble in the future. And I think it's just not very sustainable. So I think this year, obviously it's disappointing, but I think the best thing for us financially is to keep with the squad we've got and just hopefully we can sell a few players and get the money in that way. So yeah, it's annoying, isn't it? But yeah, 100%. Fofana's by far our best defender, and especially if we've got Johnny Evans next to him, I don't think Johnny Evans is going to be playing every single game next year because he's very well this year, I should say. He's very injury prone, isn't he? As we saw last year. Obviously, we've got all right options in Soyuncu and Amati. He can do a job there. Don't get me wrong, but they're not the high standard, are they? So yeah, one player I would have liked to see is Levi Colwill join Leicester. But obviously, this whole Chelsea Fofana thing is really spiced that one up with Cucurella going to Chelsea or something right now. It's a bit up in the air, isn't it? So yeah, keep getting your thoughts in, boys. We won't talk about this for too long because obviously it is a player leaving Leicester, so we don't want to really talk about that, do we? But yeah, people are tolerating Newcastle's now. Torturing. It's all funny when they're trying to ruin us, but anyway. Yeah, exactly. I think Newcastle's a weird one this year, isn't it? I think some people predicted Newcastle to finish very high. We'll actually talk about league predictions a bit later. Obviously, it's a Fox's 30, but we usually go on for a bit longer. So, yeah, towards the end of the stream, we'll go through some potential league predictions. Not the full table, but we'll say like who's going to get Europe, etc. So, who do you think will be Leicester captain in 5 years? That's a very good question. I'm going to hand that to you guys in the chat as well. I'll turn it a little bit. Who's going to be the captain now? And we'll do the 5 years as well. But obviously, Schmeichel's left. Who do you guys reckon is going to be the new Leicester captain? Obviously, we've got Dewsbury Hall as an option, Johnny Evans, Jamie Vardy potentially, James Maddison. So yeah, who do you guys think could be the new captain? Let me know in the chat. I'll say my opinion in a minute. We could easily keep this guy till 2024, but given the season, and maybe next time we consider offers. Yeah, exactly that. I completely agree, Ozzy. I think that's the best way forward. And if Fofana looks at it in his head properly, he needs to do that because Fofana, in my opinion, is more than capable of starting for France in the World Cup at Christmas. But if he moves clubs, he's going to have to settle in. Let's say if he goes to Chelsea, is he even going to start the first match? I don't think he is, and he needs games to get in that team. So just to wake up, yeah, it could turn that way. I obviously hope it doesn't. Maybe Man City versus Newcastle. No, absolutely nothing. We're interested, but we're liking someone. We want to sign someone. But are we going to sign someone? No chance. So yeah, that's it. There we're in football. Yeah, potentially. I think that's the way football is. Though. I think let's be honest. If Leicester had some Saudi investors coming in the club, I think we'll be fairly happy, won't we? That we're going to sign some players. So yeah, I think just it's a bit annoying. Isn't it? There's a big gap between teams right now. Dewsbury probably that's a good shout. Yeah, I hope we're signing someone soon, Ronnie, but I don't think it's going to happen potentially. But yeah, I think obviously if Leicester do sell Fofana, let's hope it doesn't happen. But if we do, I think then we'll probably sign someone. But yeah, again, we're just leaving it so late. Like the season starts on Sunday, boys. We are going to get into that a bit now. So we talked about Fofana for about 15 minutes. So we're going to have a bit of a chat about the new season in a minute. We'll get through some final comments. I know Evan hasn't been Leicester for too long. Yeah, I completely agree. Hold on a sec. Splash my face with water. That's embarrassing. But yeah, I think Evans, in my opinion, would be the man. Obviously, Dewsbury Hall is Leicester born and bred from Shepshed, but I think he's a bit young, hasn't got that much Premier League experience. So yeah, I think Evans could be the man. When is the away kit coming? I don't. It's a shambles, isn't it? To be honest, boys, the best bit of transfer news this year, in my opinion, is the Clappers going. So I'm happy about that one. But yeah, the away kit, not too sure about that. I believe, or you would have thought it'd be out by now, considering we're playing on Sunday. Obviously, it's a home game, but yeah, it's probably going to be next week, isn't it? Also, we've got Chelsea wearing they're playing blue, and I think you meant to play in your away kit before your third kit, so I didn't even know, to be honest. But I assume next week, I'd say, or if not, I'll be a bit confused. Hudson-Odoi, yeah, that has been a link, hasn't it? I think Leicester are just interested in him. I think that'd be quite a hard deal to do, but yeah, I'd take him. I think he's better than Albrighton and Perez, and but it's a bit of a weird one. He hasn't really done much at Chelsea, has he? He showed good signs in his youth days, but recent years hasn't really played, hasn't really done anything. So yeah, I don't really know about that one, but yeah, it depends on the price, doesn't it? I think especially young English winger from Chelsea could be a lot. Chelsea have a bigger squad than us. That makes us, yeah. Chelsea are always going to be better than Leicester, therefore. Let's be honest. We can't have an injury-prone player as a captain. That is true. That is very true, actually. Yeah, I think Evans. We just have to see how it goes. But even if Evans can be captain, if he's injured, Dewsbury could probably be the captain on the pitch. So you're not a fan of Hudson-Odoi? Fair enough. we need a right wing and a left back, also centre back. These are the positions we need to strengthen. I do agree with those positions there. I think I was going to say centre midfielder, but I think, to be honest, we're actually pretty stacked in centre midfielder. With Dennis Pratt coming back, who I'm a massive fan of Dennis Pratt, I think we should definitely get him involved in our plans this year. Obviously, got Samori, who I think will have a better season this year. Dewsbury, Tillemans, if he stays. Obviously, got Maddison in there, of course, and Diddy, Mendy, etc. I think our midfield's pretty strong. So even if we do lose T-Loans, I don't think it's a position we really need to like quickly get on. I think a winger is the main thing we need because, according to reports and pictures, Harvey Barnes is on crutches right now, which isn't a good sign. That leaves us with about Albrighton and Pera to start against Brentford. But I'll talk about that a bit tomorrow. But I reckon we could potentially see Leicester start with no wingers against Brentford in a 4-1-2-1-2. But yeah, I'll talk about that a bit later tomorrow, and in the match previous. Yeah, like I said earlier, tomorrow there will be a video on the channel where I go in depth on Leicester tactics, formations. We'll look at who could potentially play for Leicester next season, some predicted lineups. Then obviously on Saturday we will have the Brentford preview, and then obviously Sunday we'll have the Brentford vlog, and Monday we'll have the Brentford review kind of thing. So there we go. King Power business performance has not been doing the best since COVID, since it sells. Yeah, exactly that. I think that's the main thing. Some people are forgetting the fact that obviously it's a duty-free company which has been heavily affected by COVID. I think the main thing which has led to Leicester not signing anyone this year is last summer's transfer business. I think we rushed quite a lot and potentially wasted quite a lot of money, and now Leicester haven't got into European competitions. I think it's really backfired. So I think the signings of Bertrand, well, not really, who's on a free one, but Bertrand, Vestergaard, Tomorrow. I think Daka was a good signing, and obviously Lookman, who was on loan, now he's gone to Atalanta, which is annoying. But yeah, I think last year and combined with King Powers, left us with a bit flat on money this year. So hope Kieran plays his whole career. Yeah, hopefully he does. I can. If anyone's going to do that, it's probably going to be Kieran in our side. Obviously, Leicester born and bred, been through the academy. Yeah, I do hope he can do that. He loves the club, he loves the fans. His family support Leicester as well. So yeah, you definitely see it happening. But once again, if Kieran has got the ability to progress to become a top level centre midfielder, I think the move could be away from Leicester in future years. But hopefully not. Yeah, but no, Leicester, we can help confirm in Leicester are good. So Hudson-Odoi, especially, he's still doing that as a good point as well. I just think with Hudson-Odoi, the price, unless we do a loan deal, but I think the price of Hudson-Odoi may be the only thing because, like I said, he's English. He's a young Englishman playing at Chelsea. He's going to cost a lot, I think. So why don't look? But yeah, our best winger last season. Yeah, I think Lookman, we missed out on Lookman really for £15 million. I think surely Leicester could have stretched to that at least. I think not signing Lookman or even loaning him. I think we could have even done a loan deal for another season. I think it's just a stupid idea really. So yeah, it blows my mind. Blows my mind why we didn't sign Lookman. Personally, I thought first day the transfer window opened, Lookman would have been walking through the door, but clearly not. He's now in Italy. I feel bad for him. He's gone from Everton, Germany, England, Leicester, now Italy, Atalanta. It's mad. Left back, centre back, youth. I think youth's the most important thing, isn't it? Really, I think. Yes, Leicester are hitting a stage now where the squad's getting a bit older. Players are wanting to start to leave. It's obviously in that 2018, 2019, everything was on the up. We had a really good young squad, but this is now the stage where it's kind of turning. I think another rebuilding process is needed, like when Claude Puel was in charge. Or of course, he brought in lots of Maddison, Ricardo, etc. I think Leicester may be edging towards that point again, which is a bit sad, but it's interesting to see how we're doing. I think this year, even though it might not be a successful season, I think this year is going to be a crucial season. And that could have implications on the next 5 or so years for Leicester. I really think that, because if Leicester do bad this year, I think we could see a lot of players moving on next year, which could leave us in a big corner. I think I can't see Brendan Rodgers being Leicester manager this time next season. So yeah, interesting times, boys. It's going to be an interesting season. Do you think Top's struggling to juggle with fathers? This would be potentially. I have full backing in Top, but obviously it's a lot to have. Obviously, he's the owner of OH Leuven as well, so he's got to manage their finances and all that type of stuff as well. So yeah, it's a big responsibility. Obviously, he's got people there who's going to help him through the situation. I think Top's. Even though he's not Top's the perfect owner, let's be honest, boys. I know he's not invested this year, but you don't want someone who has no connection with the fans. You see him in the stands every day. He has a great connection with every single player and Rodgers. So yeah, I think Obviously, it has been a disappointing year, but I think top is still the man to take us forward. Um, haven't heard anything about that one. No, I'm not too sure about that one. It's a shame Herrera as well since his injury. I was going to talk about it. I don't really want to talk about. Personally, I was such a big fan of Ricardo Pereira, but I'm going to be honest. He's finished, boys. He can't play 5 games without picking up an injury. So yeah, it's just sad. It's sad to be honest. I blame it on Jack Grealish because in that 2019-20 season, that man was he was on par with Trent Alexander-Arnold, and and that's true. His stats that season were ridiculous. He was an absolute baller going forward and defensively. As soon as that injury came, which just spiraled down, he came back, got another big injury, came back, another injury, came back, another injury, came back, another injury. And that's literally it. I'm not even exaggerating it. So, yeah, I'm heartbroken for the man, really. We'll be doing a Premier League prediction video, not a full one, but yeah, literally in a few minutes, I am going to touch on predictions. So, yeah, I don't want to do a full on video because I think everyone does those videos, and I think by now it's a bit repetitive if you watched a few already. So, yeah, I'm just going to be mentioning a bit later on. Welcome to the stream, Max. Hope you're doing all right. I'm not looking forward to the season. I think we can only be in a relegation battle, but I don't think lots of outsiders are predicting Leicester to be in a relegation battle. I can't see it happening. I know where people are coming from, but I think people need to remember the quality of Leicester's squad. We got fifth, and eighth, and even last year where people said we had a horrendous season, where we had a poor season, we only came 3 points behind West Ham, who apparently had an outstanding season. Leicester getting to a European semi-final as well. Don't get me wrong, last season was absolutely garbage, but I was going to swear. But yeah, I think the squad we have, if it can stay fit, it's more than capable of finishing top 10 and pushing for Europe. So yeah, I hope you are proved wrong, Max. But yeah, I don't think Leicester are going to have an outstanding year this year. But I think it's just that hope Starship gets a few starts. Could potentially see that happening. I think he could be a solid backup keeper or third choice. Obviously, made that error at Derby, but made up for it, didn't he? So there we go. So yeah, it's going to be interesting, boys. Just before we get into some predictions, if you haven't already, drop a like on the stream. It does massively help me out. So yeah, if you could drop a like, that'll send this out to other Leicester fans. We can help build this nice Leicester community. Talking about Leicester most nights, videos, etc. So yeah, we appreciate it, and obviously subscribe as well to the channel for the new season. But yeah, talking of the new season, then we're going to get into some predictions now, boys and girls. So the first question to you guys in the chat is, where do you guys think Leicester are going to finish this Premier League season? So yeah, let me know. Let me know in the chat. Where do you guys see Leicester finishing this year? From Zambia, good evening. How is the Leicester family? Welcome to the stream, mate. Hope you're doing all right. Big up to Zambia. Big up to Pats and Daka. Thanks for joining us. And I think, yeah, we're all good out here, boys. We are all good. So yeah, cheers for joining in, Samuel, mate. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Yeah. Once again, boys, where Leicester going to finish this year? We've got 12th in the chat, which that's poor. That's poor. 9th or 10th, yeah. 13th, 8th. Yeah, personally, I think Leicester are going to finish 8th this year. But you guys are not too confident, which is surprising, to be honest. But 12th to 18th. I must be very confident then, boys. 12th, there you go, 7th. There we go. Confidence, yeah. Yeah, personally, I've gone with Leicester to finish 8th this season. Now, obviously, that all depends on a lot of variables, other teams. I think around us this year is going to be obviously West Ham, Newcastle, Villa, maybe Crystal Palace. So, yeah, boys, keep getting those predictions in if you haven't already. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Let's see how it on Sunday, though. Yeah, we'll move on to that in a minute. Sunday, I think, is going to be Sunday's a big unknown, really. First game of the season, you don't have a clue what's going to happen. So I think that could be a potential indicator on how well we do this year. Scott Chapman is coming up with a beautiful 7th place. There we go. We ain't that good. The expectation is high. We've got to be realistic. Yeah, maybe I'm being a bit too optimistic, but I think realistic though, we can get top 10 easily. So yeah. Sunchu everyone needs to be on form this year. Yeah, once again, Sunchu, there's definitely a good player in there. So I think Sunchu, confidence, if you can play alongside Johnny Evans, Fofana, whoever it is, maybe not Daniel Amate. So yeah, personally for me, boys, I reckon Leicester are going to finish 8th place this year. So that's my prediction. Obviously, that's the same as last year. But one thing I do hope we do is really push on in the cup. Win the FA Cup again, try and win the Carabao Cup, something like that. I think I'll be happy with that. We've already been leapfrogged by some average teams. Villa will be up for it. Yeah, I do actually predict Aston Villa to have a really good year this year. So, hates me to say it, but Yeah, boys. Keep getting those likes and those boys and girls. It will be massively appreciated if you could go down below and drop a like. I know I keep going on about it, but just help out the channel. So yeah, next thing I'm gonna go for, who's gonna get relegated this year, boys? What are your bottom three teams in there? I do hope we see a lot of Nottingham Forest. But yeah, bottom three, boys. Let me know in the chat who's gonna get relegated this year. Obviously, this isn't Leicester related, but yeah, I think we'll just wrap it up with some random Premier League predictions. So yeah, there we go. From Max, we've got that Casper has gone, to be honest. Yeah, when it first got announced, I wasn't too upset, but watching some like edits last night and stuff, I think it's a bit sad. It's getting the tears out. I'm not ready for when Jamie Vardy leaves the club. I'm not ready. Let's just hope we get some business across the line. 100% agree, mate. I think that's the main thing. If we could just sign a few players here and there, it would be okay. But yeah, once again, boys, who's going to get relegated? Let us know in the chat. I'd be happy to can't read that. I'd be happy to get safe with at least 40 points as always. I've been Leicester fan from 2021, bottom each traditional top 5. That must be a bit poor. But yeah, I think the main things are obviously survival, but I think we can do a lot better than that. Here we go then. Bournemouth, Fulham, and Brentford. That's a big shout by Brentford. Yeah, I do agree with Bournemouth. Maybe not Fulham though. I do expect Fulham to have a good year this year. Bournemouth, Fulham, Southampton. I do agree with Southampton and Bournemouth. Quite a lot of the same. Fulham, Bournemouth, and Southampton. Boo. 18th, man. If we finish 18th, all right, I'll buy you a Mars bar. Okay, end of the season in May. If you come 18th, I'll buy you a Mars bar or some crisps or whatever. So yeah, I'm confident we ain't going to finish 18th. But for me, bottom three. Yeah, my bottom three is always changing. I'm going to do a final little predictions thing on my phone tomorrow and save it so I can look back towards the end of the season. But yeah, bottom, I'm going to go Bournemouth. I think they're underwhelming this year. 19th, I'm going to go Southampton. I think they'll have a shocker. And 18th, I'll go Forest, which obviously Forest is an interesting one. We're not going to speak about Forest on there because it's a Leicester channel. But yeah, I think we all secretly hope that Forest will go down there. So there you go. Solid that. Now the clubs which I'd like to go down are Villa, West Ham, and Leeds. I don't like them. Would probably be Nottingham Forest, Fulham, and Bournemouth. There we go. Yeah, I think everyone's saying Bournemouth. I think Fulham is an interesting one. I think they have a good chance of staying up, I reckon, this year, but I could be easily wrong. And I think Forest have a good chance of staying up as well. I think Leeds, Everton, they're all going to be dragged down there as well. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Bournemouth, Southampton, Leeds / Forest. Yeah, I think Leeds could be a potential option as well. Probably the promoted teams from the Championship, but maybe Everton or Southampton. I do agree with you there. It's 40 million, give you a left leg. For Madison, yeah. Right, that's the bottom three done. Let's go with we'll go top 4. I think top 6 is a bit long in it. So yeah, top 4 predictions, boys. Who's going to win the league? Obviously, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Who's going to be in those beautiful Champions League spaces? So yeah, boys, top 4. Let me know in your chat. Who's going to win the league? All of that type of stuff. So yeah, top 4. What are you guys saying? Top 4. Hopefully Leicester can get in that. If we can see from a corner against Brentford on Sunday, I'm going to be absolutely fuming, especially if it's like a proper bad one where like they stand still like most of the time. Statues on. That better not happen. Here we go then. Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Tottenham. Interesting. Man City, Liverpool, Spurs, and Arsenal. Very interesting again. Oh yeah, I do agree with that one. I shouldn't really put it on the screen, but I can prove that it is factual evidence. Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal, and Tottenham. Top 4 is boring. Fair enough. Most people are going to predict the same. Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Spurs. Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Arsenal. So obviously most people are going Man City and Liverpool, same as me. 3rd place this year, I've gone with Spurs, and 4th place this year, I've gone with Chelsea. So that's my predictions. I think, yeah, some of you guys are probably doing the same as me there, aren't you? Obviously, some people got Arsenal doing quite well. I could definitely see Arsenal doing quite well this year as well. I kind of hope they don't though, because I don't know why. I just don't really like Arsenal. Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal. I think I've done that one already. And Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea with Fofana, Tottenham / Arsenal. Yeah, interesting. Ants coming in with the derby, Leicester. The City. There we go. Get another one in there so we can get 5th. There we go. And I see Arsenal 5th, then United 6th. Yeah, that's exactly the same as me, Aussie, mate. I think, yeah, top 4 / top 6 is a bit boring, isn't it, this year? Everyone's predicting the same thing. But I think there could definitely be some shocks in there. I think one team, Man United, is going to be interesting on this year. No one knows how they're going to really do. I think Arsenal will be interesting as well with Jesus in there. So we'll see. If we get top four this season, I'd never be. Yeah, if we get top four this year, it would be typical Leicester to do it. Leicester could get top four this year, get relegated. Could go either way. So let's hope it's the first one. If not, we're going to be crying. So, but yeah, top four is going to be interesting. I won't go through to the mid-table positions. I think that's a bit boring. But one final question to you guys: who is going to be the top scorer? And then we'll get into some more Leicester-related questions as we wrap up the Foxes 30, which tonight will be about the Foxes 40. So there we go. But yeah, top scorer, boys and girls. Who do you think is going to get the most goals this season in the Premier League? It's going to be Harden, Kane, Vardy, Daka. There we go. Can we just predict? We'll get onto that very soon. Few minutes. We'll go through top scorer and then we'll get onto that. That'll be interesting, that one. We'll probably be seeing a lot of double figures as well. So, and as always, end of the season, we'll look back on this video and see if any of you guys were correct. Yeah, just what we do, who's going to get the golden boot this year? I hope to see the chat flooded with Jamie Vardy's name in a minute. So yeah, come on. 8:30 already. Yeah, for me, I think top scorer wise, I'm going to go. I think this is a bit delayed in it, but yeah, I'm going to go with lots of people saying Haaland, but I'm going to be bored and say Harry Kane. I think I could just see that being the case this year. So yeah, there we go. Harry Kane. My granddad's cousin played for Forest since 16. I don't have to feel. Nah, just say that I want Forest to go down or something. So there we go. Haaland. There we go. Pretty standard one. Trust me, as managers, I'll be winning as a Liga. I think Tantics. God's sake. I think everyone's done that though, isn't it? We could get a whole group of us in there. We'll be absolutely beautiful. Pre-match tactics. Beautiful. Top scorer, I'll say Son. Interesting one. I think Haaland, golden boot. Yeah. Nunes. That's a shout. Top, yeah. Haaland or Darwin Nunes. Quite a few people saying Nunes. That's interesting. I don't know about Nunes. I think he could either go one or two ways. He could explode out of a bit of a small one. Obviously, he did quite well in the Community Shield at our place. But yeah, I think it's going to be between Haaland, Kane, and maybe Gabriel Jesus potentially. But I don't know about that. It's another difficult one to predict. But yeah, now we've done obviously the Premier League golden boot. Let's get into some Leicester questions. I know some put it in the chat. Let me try and find it. There we go. That's a good question, boys. How many goals Leicester going to concede from corners? It's an interesting one, definitely. But yeah, I don't know how much it was last year, but I think it was about 20, wasn't it? Smore top scorer. There we go. That's what I want to hear. French excellence and from Buba. I don't think he's actually scored for Leicester yet, has he? So yeah, that Sportsa Moscow one where he hit the ball. If that went in, I reckon he could have. Yeah, that's annoying, isn't it? Let's work out the Europa League because I really thought we should have been in the knockouts and that. But the Conference League was good, wasn't it? Some good days. 15 to 20. Jesus. Yeah, that's probably about right. I do expect us to obviously concede a few. It's granted, isn't it? But any more than 15, I'll be fuming. 63 again. Pretty low, to be honest. There we go, Max. 100% agree with that one. I think finally we'll leave this season. Personally, yeah, that's the main question, isn't it? If the right offer comes in, yes. But if I had to say now, I'll say no. But I could definitely see it happening. 60%, I think he'll stay. 40%, I think will go. So I'm very much, just on the line. Boober on pens, free kicks, corners, even corners, goal kicks, score from them all. Yeah. And he can also pass through the midfield. So, the Boober. Surprised if Boober even plays 10 games, to be honest. But yeah, we'll see how that one goes. But yeah, obviously we've done corners. Now let's go on some more realistic questions. You could say, who is going to be Leicester's top goal scorer this season? Let me know in the chat. Now, this one, usually it would be obvious, but I think this year is going to be a bit of an interesting one. Seeing Chelsea being linked to Vardy, yeah, Jamie Vardy will not leave Leicester. 0 chance. Oh, yeah, I've done that loads of times. I've always got players on the back who's left, so join me in that one. That's why I never get anyone on the back of my shirt. So, yeah, we can see the 59. Yeah, crazy. And half of them are probably from corners, weren't they? James Maddison, top goal scorer. Same as last year was obviously James Maddison. Interesting shout. 70 million is not what we want. 80 or 90 Chelsea is rubbish bidding. Yeah, 100%. Leicester, I'm not going to mess around. So if Leicester want to get a high price, we'll set that price and we'll get that price. Hopefully, well, maybe hopefully or not. I don't know. But yeah, for me, top goal scorer. This one's interesting. I think it all depends on the fitness of obviously the main man, Jamie Vardy. If he's fit, I reckon it'll be him. But if not, it's a bit of a bit of an interesting prediction. But I fancy Patson Daka. I really do. Fancy Daka to do it. Don't know why. I think Samora should get more game time. Really underrated in my opinion. I completely agree. I think Samora this year could have a breakout season. I think he's going to stay at Leicester. Yeah, I forgot to mention this. There was a report today that Monaco are not willing to pay around 20 million for Samora. So I think Samora is pretty much guaranteed to stay at Leicester. So there we go. Ward to make some score. Yeah, exactly. Big up Danny Ward. I think Danny Ward will do all right this year. Obviously tomorrow there'll be a big video on this whole lineup situation. So make sure to tune into that one tomorrow night. Well, it's going to be a normal video and not a stream. So fingers crossed for Fofana stay. 100% now. Obviously, yeah, that's the main one. We'll see how this progresses. Obviously, I'll do a few more streams and videos on Fofana, depending on what happens. Do you know if Tielemans has left yet? Tielemans is 100% still a Leicester player right now. Arsenal are still yet to put a bid in for him. So yeah, nothing's really happening with that one right now. I had a few meltdowns. So did I. When we played Brighton, and 2 goals were disallowed for a bunch of boxes around my room. Mate, I'm exactly the same as you. I'm exactly the same as you. I had a lot of meltdowns last year. Napier, I had a meltdown. Roma, I had a meltdown. Brighton, I had a big meltdown on that one, especially on Instagram after it. I made about 10 stories complaining about the ref. But yeah, there we go. Me and Max know it, don't we? Daka, same as me. There we go. Getting the front will be so good for them, surely. Yeah, that's a difficult one once again. I think he may be happy to stay at Nantes. Obviously, it's moving. It's a young goalkeeper. But yes, that's a good point. That is. Do you know? Yeah, I saw that actually. He likes Jamie Vardy, isn't he? So big up to Haaland. He knows ball. Let me just catch up to those comments. If he stays with us, want to leave, he's a prisoner. Yeah, exactly. There we go. I heard Arsenal saw Torreira. Does that mean they're going for Euro soon? Yeah, potentially. Arsenal are looking to sell players, but I think they need to sell a few players and then actually buy people. So yeah, they sold Leno. They're selling Torreira. So it could happen. Yeah. Talking of Arsenal, I've watched the first 3 episodes of the documentary on Amazon. It's pretty good actually. So yeah, make sure you watch it for January. See some, I'd say Arteta masterclass. But yeah, interesting. Last season I saw a West Ham game, and all my days when they scored from the corner. Actually, oh my, yeah, that's another one actually. I knew it was coming. I literally said when I was watching it, they're going to score from this. What happens? I say, yeah, again, if you think, I don't want to dwell on last season too much, but even then, that's 2 points there. If you didn't see 2 goals in about 10 seconds of Tottenham, that's 3 points. That's 5 points right there. That's Leicester above West Ham and into Europe. 2 games like that, joke. Because Vardy celebrated. Vardy's the GOAT, man. He's going to score again this year. Everyone doubts him, and he's going to deliver again. He's going to get 10 plus goals this year, 100%. Especially if he kicks off with a goal against Brentford on Sunday, which I reckon he may do. So yeah, that's a good point actually. As soon as we won the league, everyone was on about this big Vardy movie, but nothing's happened. Maybe when he retires, though. Maybe when he retires. Need Brendan Rodgers masterclass. But yeah, we need a lot. We need a lot of luck as well. I think the support is going to be key next year as well. I think obviously if you got, I don't know if everyone in here goes to the games, but if you do go, proper get behind the lads on Sunday. Really get it going because I think it's going to be key, especially no clappers. Hear me out. Daka going to have a breakout season. Score 47 goals. Wow. You win the champ. That's a very realistic prediction, I must say. But I do agree with the Daka bit, and maybe not the rest of it. We're bad at defending cause. We might need Sandro Hoofs. You're a fan of you. Yeah, we could do anyone, to be honest. Stick me in the box. I'll smack it out. Miss Prime Vard. Yeah, don't we all? Miss Prime Leicester, to be honest, mate. Yeah, I missed 2016 Leicester and I miss 2019 Leicester. Maybe a bit of 2021 Leicester as well, especially the FA Cup one. Yeah, I was gonna mention about that. I don't want to talk about it too much, so this video may get removed. I don't know what happened, but yeah, that's gonna be a big plus for Vardy, to be honest, because he's gonna go up there and rattle those fans. But fun fact: Vardy scores more goals than Ronaldo per minute. He scored a load. I think he was the top goal scorer per minute last year. So Who is in the film? Yeah, good question. I don't know, to be honest. Yeah. They should do a reveal one day. That'd be quite funny. I don't know actually. That's why Haaland's, I love him when they go on this one. There we go, 100%. Right, boys, we're going to wrap this up in about 2 minutes or so. Obviously, we have been going on for a while. The Foxes 30 is going to be the Foxes 43 tonight. So there we go. Yeah, massive thanks for tuning into the stream. We'll get some final questions in. Yeah, if you haven't already, to help me out, if you have enjoyed, drop like. Obviously, that will massively help the channel out, and that will let me know that you guys want to see some more streams like this. I will be doing more streams throughout the season. Yeah, that's the plan. We're gonna have lots of videos on the way, consistent uploads from Brentford, and then probably Tuesday night we'll be back with another live, and we'll be discussing a bit of the season so far. But yeah, lots of these streams going forward. Obviously, the transfer window we've still got about we've still got about 4 weeks or so to go. I thought my whole setup that just went down, but there we go. So yeah, 4 weeks left to transfer stuff. So yeah, a lot of stuff can still happen, and obviously the season's back as well, which is beautiful scenes. That comment already. Lcfc winners 2022-2023. There we go. It is happening. It's happening. Have a decent rest of the day, mate. Cheers, Connor, mate. Thanks for coming in. You too, and most importantly, as you say, up the mighty Leicester and up the Clappers. We can chuck that one away for now, boys and girls. But yeah, if you've got any final questions, let me know in the chat. Tomorrow we have a video out at around 6 o'clock at 7 or something like that, where we're going through some tactics for the new season. And then on Saturday, we'll have the Brentford preview out on the channel as we look forward to, of course, our first match of the season. Sunday, we'll have the Brentford vlog. And then on Monday, we'll have the 5 things we learned from Leicester versus Brentford, hopefully talking about a good win for Leicester. Then Tuesday, we'll be back with another live stream on the Foxes 30, talking Leicester and obviously probably some transfer news. That type of stuff. We'll have a bit of a chat about Brentford, and yeah, lots of stuff on the way, boys and girls. The grind is real. I know I've been really inconsistent throughout the summer. I do apologise. Obviously, there hasn't really been anything to talk about though. So yeah, a good rest for me. But now we're back with a bang. Also, leave a COVID never happened. Oh mate, yeah, 100%. Bang on. We would have got top 4. Love the streams. Thanks for that, Leicester fans. I do like doing them as well. I think obviously videos are good and all that. For one, it takes me way longer to do it and edit it. It's about 5 hours of my day taken up, so I don't mind doing it. But yeah, I think streams, quick and easy. I can talk to you guys, interact with you guys, get your comments on the screen like this, and yeah, there we go. Yeah, we should have won the Champions League as well. That referee against Atletico Madrid away, fraud. Chelsea are scared for 80 minutes for Fofana. There we go. There we go, then, boys and girls. Right, I am going to wrap this up in about 30 seconds' time. So yeah, big thanks to you guys for coming in. As always, massively appreciated. Good to see the numbers high, and obviously, most importantly, good to see you guys interacting in the comments, in the chat. That's the main thing, because if not, I have nothing to talk about. So yeah, keep it going, boys and girls. I'll probably see you back live, like I said, on Tuesday night. We'll be talking all things Leicester there once again. But yeah, lots of videos on the way this weekend. Obviously, the Premier League is back tomorrow night. Palace versus Arsenal. So hopefully see a Palace win there. But yeah, it's good to be back, boys and girls. Good to see Premier League football is back, and hopefully Leicester can kick it off with a win on Sunday against the Bees at home. So if you're going to the game, I will see you guys there, and hopefully we can have a good one. So yeah, cheers, boys, for coming in as always. Just before we head off, if you could drop a like as you depart, that'd be appreciated. And obviously subscribe if you haven't already, as I always do. So I know I keep banging on about it, but it does massively help out. So yeah, boys, that's it for the 3rd episode of the Foxes 30. I have been Sportsa, and I'll see you guys very soon in my next video or stream. I'll see you guys live back again on Tuesday nights. So yeah, in a bit, boys, stay safe, and most importantly,